Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And I am really excited today because I'm pleased to bring to you, pleased to bring to you, pleased to bring you the from the Transformers Bumblebee the movie Energon Igniters line. This is Nitro class Dropkick. This was a figure that I said was probably going to happen when I saw initially these little Energon engine blocks. Now, I had actually prepared a whole little bit with some victory dance and that incorporated some interpretive modern dance moves as well as the Meepo dance of joy. Unfortunately, this figure doesn't work the way I was expecting it to. That still doesn't take away from the fact that this right here, in my opinion, is the best figure in the Bumblebee movie line, and the best helicopter transformer we've gotten ever, period. But yeah, the engine here. First of all, this is, besides being my first Nitro class figure, this is my first time experiencing the Decepticon Energon Igniter engine blocks. And as other people have said, mine isn't as smooth as the Autobots. You do hear that little extra grit and roughness to it. I don't know what it is. Now, I had mentioned that this doesn't work the way I thought it did, and that has to do with that little plug right there. Because as you depress the plunger there, that spins, and I was expecting this to plug in to spin the rotor blades. It does not. As with all the other Energon igniters, you come back here, open up these back panels, and you just drop the block in, and there you go, and it's just going to propel itself. By the way, I just want to point out, Gatling gun, maybe like a rotating missile launcher, extra turbines, gun, Gatling gun, missile, either missile pods or Gatling guns. This is a heavily armed helicopter, but for testing purposes, I'm going to bring it off camera here and we're going to give it a shot, see how far it rolls. And not bad. It rolls quite nicely. Obviously, its larger mass means it's not going to roll as fast as the traditional Power Plus, or Speed Series figures. Now I'm just going to go ahead and remove that engine block, and you can close up this back section again, and it will snap together quite nicely. Main propeller does spin. Back propeller spins a little bit better. And man, this is just a great looking helicopter. You know what? Let's just get right into the transformation. No pause. First thing you want to do is fold up the rotor blade just to get out of the way. Come in the front here. These guns tab into the side. You can unpeg them up, fold it up, and then rotate it back. So you'll just unpeg it, rotate it up at that hinge, and then fold it back. You might want to keep them down slightly just to maneuver the other parts. For example, right now you're going to come down to these side bits and fold them back and up in like that. It's a tight joint. You will see tabs there. They do peg in to the side. And that actually is one of the securing points to keep the rear of the copter connected to the front section. You can go ahead and fold down the arms now and just bring them out to the side. Great detailing there. The next step is you're going to untab this front section after you turn the helicopter upside down. Bring it up about halfway, and then go ahead and flip the feet out. There are little tabs. Can you see it? Right, tab right there that will snap into place, and then you'll bring this down, and those will peg into sections there. This will be the leg. So next, what you want to do is go ahead and split everything open, just like so. Rotate it around. Now, there are like double hinges here. You want to make sure you're rotating on that main hinge that's connected to that hip bar, just like so. Rotate the legs around. Actually, let's turn the helicopter around so you can see that there is a little bit of detailing that should be lining up there and there. It might be a little hard to see. Go ahead and flip the tail sections up, and they will just slot and peg into place. So we have that done. Let me make sure that leg is straight. I'm going to adjust the camera, just like so. And we're actually just about almost done. Make sure that's flipped up. You're going to take this back section, bring it down, and there are, right where my finger is, tab there, and now the slots that actually held the leg shins in place, you're going to go and bring the backpack down and peg it in just like that. Make sure now the guns are rotated back, and there you have Dropkick in its robot mode. Make sure I get everything rotated just right. I like to have it lined up, a little symmetry there. So, and boom, there you go. Now, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, this isn't the most articulated figure. No head articulation. Ball joints in the shoulder that have a nice little bit of wiggle room and swivel. You do have the double jointed elbows. That's really more for transformation. And you do have ratchets here on the hip. Do be careful, because sometimes you can unpeg those the bits that are pegged into the waist. There are no knees. There is no forward leg movement. But again, I think this is a fantastic figure. You can store the engine here on the back, just like that. Doesn't affect balance. You do have some great heels there. Yes, it's a little hollow, but remember, this is the section where the engine would plug into. Was really surprised by the transformation. I felt that maybe it was a little too complicated, but it was very intuitive. I did it once, and it'll be fine. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to pause, and I'm going to then come back and show you how to transform it back to its helicopter mode. Okay, so we're going to do the transformation back to helicopter mode, which is how the instructions on the packaging show you. The instructions aren't that clear, so that's why I'm going to do this for you. Of course, you want to start off with the robot in a neutral position. You'll come down to the legs here and flip out the tail fin bits, and then rotate the legs around, just like so. You might have to move the arms out of the way. That'll happen. And then you're going to turn the figure over, open up this back section, and then flip everything down. And just in terms of getting things working and in position, you want to have the section with the arms facing towards you. Then go ahead and on that, remember, on that joint there, rotate the legs around, and then go ahead and peg the sections together that they will hold into place. Now, this will be should be a little floppy. Don't worry, as I mentioned, going from helicopter to robot, things do secure into place. The next step is you want to unpeg the legs here, bring them up about halfway, then go ahead and fold the feet in, and then those slots that were holding the back into place will now secure these front legs, the shins or whatever, and that will help hold the that back section into place with the front. And then we'll just go ahead, fold the arms up on that double elbow joint. At this point, you do want to, just for your ease and convenience, bring the Gatling guns down on that swivel hinge, and then rotate out on that tail fin. Make sure to try to grab from the shoulder and the actual tail fin itself as you bring it forward, just so you don't stress any joints, because at least on mine it's a little tight, and they should just tab into place on the side here, and that actually secures and locks everything up. Final steps is go ahead, finish bringing these Gatling guns down, and there's a tab right here on the side that will slot into the hole on the gun, and there we go, just like so. Put it on the ground, open up the rotor blades, and there you go. You have the Dropkick back in its helicopter mode. Like I said, at first it looked very complicated, but it's very intuitive, very fun. This is just a great figure. So we'll pause, and I'll come back with my final thoughts. When I first got this figure, I put a photo of it up on my Instagram page, and I said, this is a fantastic figure that's a lot of fun, that people would enjoy, that nobody's going to buy because it's labeled as a simple figure. It's from a movie line that's part of the kid section of the movie line, and that's a shame, folks. This is the best figure from the Bumblebee movie line. This is the best helicopter transformer that I can remember. Alpha Bravo, those hips got loose very quickly. I know it's not like an articulation marvel, but I gotta tell you, the lack of articulation makes for a much tighter and smoother transformation. I mean, the Studio Series Dropkick I've heard a lot of complaints about the joints not lining up right, and in my opinion, that has to do with the fact that the use of ball joints and the hinges, and you have to get everything just tweaked just so. This comes together quite nicely. It's solid. I mean, everything pegs in. I love how you're using those hip slots to secure the legs, and then in robot mode it goes back and forth, and then here it's used to support the cockpit section with the rear of the helicopter. It's just I'm gushing on it, and I know a lot of you are like, well, it doesn't do, you can't bend the knees, you can't turn the head, this and that, and it doesn't do the diving dog yoga pose. Well, sometimes a toy, all it needs to do is just bend its arm forward, transform, and be a cool figure, and this is what Nitro class Dropkick is. Now, I think these are starting to hit retail. I'm not sure. This is about, wave 2, 3 of the Nitro class figures. I'm a little confused because I know we're up to wave 3 of the Power Plus, but I don't remember having a wave 2 of the Nitro class, so I think this is wave 2. The Bumblebee movie has come and gone. We're still a little bit away from the Blu-ray release, so some stores may not be stocking this. So if you see it, definitely pick it and Blitzwing up, or try to find it online. Hopefully places like Amazon will have it. I got this off of eBay just to get it a little early, but I definitely wanted this figure. Hopefully we'll get a Power or Power Plus or Speed helicopter Dropkick that will have the feature of, rotating the blades, but who knows. But with all that said, this is your all pal Chuck for Dropkick. We will see you next time.